Man, I am so excited to be kicking off 2019 with such an amazing honor to be shortlisted on the 100 podcast to listen to in 2019 from DataBird. And here's the story behind what I think led up to this because one, I've been podcasting. The Men of Abundance podcast is 2.5 years in the making and progressing all the time. All the amazing guests that I have had the opportunity to have conversations with and share that with you. But here's what you don't know, because I haven't shared this yet, is over the last 3 weeks, almost a month, iTunes had some glitch that didn't allow my podcast to be downloaded by any new subscribers. They couldn't find it in iTunes. If you searched it in iTunes, if it popped up, you would try to click on it to download it, but it would say not available in the United States. So you can click and choose another store. You click and choose another store, and it would say not available in the UK. So the bottom line is, between the developers, my team at Podcast Websites, amazing team over at Podcast Websites. I've been using them since day one. If you want a very professional podcast from day one, or you want to get professional from this point on, then go connect with Mark Asquith over at Podcast Websites. Tell them Wally sent you, and he'll run you through and see if that program and that platform is good for you. But between the team, specifically Kieran is part of the team over there at Podcast Websites, and Morgan at Apple for the Podcast Connect and iTunes, they've been trying to figure this thing out. It was really weird. So bottom line is, I wasn't getting any new subscribers yet. I was getting more downloads. And then I started getting more contact. People started contacting me and say, hey, we would like to advertise on your podcast, or at least advertise on your website. And quite frankly, some of them didn't align with who Men of Abundance is and who I'm trying to build here at Men of Abundance. But I was honored that they would reach out to me. And it was interesting that all of this was happening in 2019. And then I get this email, and says, congratulations, your podcast has been selected in the top 100 outstanding podcasts by DataBird. And I'm actually shortlisted. I'm like in the top, I think 2025. It's not in any particular order, I don't think, but I'm going to provide the link in the description so that you can check out the little article. It basically just lists out all the podcasts, and there's some other amazing podcasts on there that I'm honored. Gimlet is on there that I'm honored to be listed with. So I'm super stoked about that. But here's the thing. Over the course of the 3 weeks or 4 weeks that the podcast was down, and I got contacted by Karen Schwab, was one of 3 people that contacted me and said, hey, Wally, I'm not able to find your podcast in iTunes. And Karen Schwab works for, or is the spouse of Tom Schwab, and Tom and Karen, and partnered with Aaron Walker. They have an amazing, program, or an amazing, I guess you'd call it, it's Interview Valet. Bottom line is, Interview Valet, what they do is they connect with influencers or people that have a message. They want to get their message out on a podcast. What Tom and Karen do at Interview Valet, and the entire team over at Interview Valet, is they get to know podcast hosts like myself and find out exactly who it is that I'm looking for to have a conversation with. And I've been working with them, for about 2 years now, and they send me the most amazing guests that I have an opportunity to talk with. And there's other companies out there that do that as well, but Interview Valet sends me the lion's share. I mean, they really send me some amazing guests. I have not had any issues with any of the guests whatsoever. And Karen contacted me and said, hey, Wally, I'm not able to download, I'm not able to look at your podcast on iTunes. And me 3-4 years ago would have lost it. I would have thrown a fit. I would have been pissed off. I would have been, angry at iTunes. I'd have been angry at Podcast Websites. I'd have been angry at everybody else for this happening to my podcast, because at the same time that this happened, I was in the process of writing letters to connect with people that I would consider to sponsor this show, because I'm looking for a sponsor for Men of Abundance. I'm looking for 1 or 2 sponsors that I can connect with, that Men of Abundance can be honored to work with. And so I was getting ready to send these letters out, but what point would it be to send the letters out to these potential sponsors if they go look for my show on iTunes and they can't even find the darn thing? They're going to go, whatever, and they're just going to dismiss it because they get so many contacts on a regular basis, I'm sure. So that put that really put throw a monkey wrench in my whole plan. And I could have gotten pissed off about that, but I didn't. I just laid back. I said, this will figure itself out. Something good will come from this, or it's happening for a reason. And it just seems it was happening for a reason, because all of this other stuff started coming into place. So that's just what I want to share with you. One, that Men of Abundance was listed on the top 100 outstanding podcasts by DataBird, which is really cool. But two, the issues that was going on and the mindset that I had, and I just put myself in the right state, and I pay attention to the stuff that I write up on my board right here. And it just helps me get through this stuff. And it's what I try to share with you all. It's what I try to have the conversations with the guests, and I try to, bring out of them so that they can share why they're seeing the success and living the abundant life that they're living, because there's a lot of similarities. There are so many similarities. So anyway, 2019 is going to be an amazing year for Men of Abundance. There's so much more to come, more than just the podcast, an abundance and prosperity mastery tribe that I'm building for just men and business owners. Super excited about that. So if you could share this video, make some comments down below. I'd love to hear your comments about the show. I'd love to hear your comments on iTunes. If you leave a rating and review, if you haven't done that yet, go leave a rating and review for Men of Abundance. I'll put the link down in the description, and so that you can go do that and share this with everybody else. Because at this point, Men of Abundance has all been word of mouth, but now we're getting some publicity, which is really cool because people are digging it. You're digging it. I appreciate you. All right, take care. Have an amazing, it's Thursday today. Have an amazing coming into the weekend. And I think it's a long weekend for many of you. So have an amazing weekend this weekend. Have fun. Spend time with family. Remember, Martin Luther King Day, a little message. I used to be an equal opportunity advisor for the United States Army to a couple generals. Martin Luther King Day is not a day off. It's a day on. It's a day for you to connect with your community. That's the importance of Martin Luther King Day, is to get out, connect with your community, and connect with people you wouldn't normally communicate with or connect with. Have a conversation. Realize that we have more in common than you think, and much more in common than the media allows you to believe. All right, that's my little message for today. Take care, everybody.